If you want to try to become better at poker than Patrick Antonius, you could play and you can study and you can spend every second of every day but I was like committed to like staying as long as the Horseshoe Baltimore was running. It goes dark. But I was like looking for like YouTube that's poker related. I'd rather explore other forms of income that have nothing to do with poker. As it is, I have a couple other small forms of income that have nothing to do with poker. I have ideas for others also. I'm leaving my Airbnb in a couple days. So
Arriving. Northbound platform. Please allow passengers to exit before boarding.
I'm leaving my Airbnb near South Point in a few days, so I probably won't be at South Point at like
Monorails are currently arriving every 9 minutes.
At 60, the cocaine goes away. There was some old guy who said, you know, you could do cocaine when you're young. Somehow you have second pair in this huge pot, you show down, and somehow you're good, like all the time. I have seen at least two people vividly that I'm thinking of right now are just running good for life. And how fitting that I'm upstairs at Bally's right now, and how fitting that I'm gonna go over the categories for you while I'm upstairs inside Bally's. I know two people who have gotten into like verbal altercations that have come close to physical altercations with them, and Caesars has made it way easier to pay for rooms with comps, so I could pay for free now. I'll go into that. Are you done? What a coincidence. Tomorrow starts me publishing this. So I'll go into that in another video. It's not like it was 500 hours of counting in each city. That would be a lot better. So for every explanation, for every count, the explanation could just be small sample. But what about the pros? One is it's less expensive. 5 more hands, you only. So that is. But what's on tap today? A gentleman had King 10 on Ace 10 2 10 4, no flush. He had trips, top kicker, and he checked back. What did he do? And tall guy in Aria with the blue golf shirt. And fittingly, right now on the monorail platform at Sahara, a woman had Jack 10 on Queen 10 3 Jack 10. That's a full house. On the river, she was facing. I actually don't love the bet on the flop. It's tough to get worse to call, but I actually don't love the bet on the flop. And this was the interesting streak. So the guy in the 3 seat says to me again, you know, those guys are showing their. The guy in the 3 seat says to me again, the big card on the river is great. The big card on the river is great though. The point of this bet is really for future streets. On the way back north, you get on at Mandalay, and then it stops.
The tram doors are closing.
Everyone loves talking about money. Let's get right into it.
It's accelerating. Please hold on to a handrail.
And where I got on right now, this is the north side of it.
Clear. The tram doors are closing.
Everyone loves talking money, so let's get right into it. 2 shout outs. First one to El Burro. He after I mentioned this and we were discussing it for mostly camaraderie purposes, I went out, put a bet on TCU. For mostly camaraderie purposes, I went out right before the game started, put a bet on Texas. And a shout out to Corey. And a shout out to Corey. I see Corey at Bally's a lot, sometimes elsewhere. And a shout out to Corey. I played with Corey before at Bally's. I think we spoke for the first time a few days ago. He's from, man, what am I saying? And a shout out to Corey. I see Corey at Bally's a lot. We spoke for the first time. And a shout out to Corey. I played with Corey a bunch of times at Bally's. We were talking the other day. He said he watches some of the... And that reminded me, if there's a specific type of video anyone likes, I probably have a playlist about it. Fucking A, man. And he said his favorites were videos where I put up stats. So that reminded me, if anyone out there has a very... I don't know how often people go to the playlist tab, but there are a lot of them in case you don't want to search through everything. This is terrible. I don't know how often people go to the playlist tab, but I've been keeping pretty good... In 2012, 2013, loose passive games were very common. And in my opinion back then...
This monorail continues north,
Another
now
thing,
arriving at Flamingo Caesars Palace Station.
When I started playing in 2012, Foxwoods 2013...
This monorail continues northbound.